Hey, this is Rick from Bite Size Pickleball, and welcome to our first ever Bite Size podcast. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Love you guys. Today's episode focuses on the inner critic. You know the one. It's that voice in your head that has a habit of beating you down on the court. You suck! And after watching hundreds of players for 3 years now, I think one of the biggest challenges to improvement in your pickleball game is you and your negative self-talk. On a recreational level, next to a lack of a backhand, this is what jumps out at me the most. You harshing on yourself after every error you make. Pickleball is a fast-moving game, and there is no time to let your guard down or your mind. You need to stay in the flow. Being negative with yourself is the first thing that will take you out of the flow. This is a topic that can go on forever and really involves the psychology of the mind and how to go about getting your mind back on track. So it's running as simple as possible and not overheating like the fan in your 2003 laptop computer. You know the one. Sometimes you just need to stop and defragment the soul drive. Yes, just like you have to do with that old computer. And that can't really happen overnight. You need to work on this facet of your game, the mind part, just like you work on your dinks, drops, resets, etc. In fact, it always amazes me how players spend so much time and money working on their physical games and like zero time on their mental game.
Whoa.
You want to play better pickleball? Then you need to change that equation to include more mindfulness work. We'll get into mindfulness more on another episode, but for today, I just want to give you one bite-sized thing to think about. And let me start by saying the first step in any growth process, whether it's on the pickleball court or off it, is recognizing when you're doing something negative to your process. In this case, being too hard on yourself when you mess up on the court. When you criticize yourself, when you vocalize that like an angry pirate, you're holding all this dark pirate energy inside you, and you're allowing it to fester and collect a bunch of gunk, just like that fan on the old laptop. Man, you need to throw that negative stuff to the sharks. Defrag the soul drive. Really simple. We're going to learn to change the inner dialogue you have with yourself. What I want you to do is every time you catch yourself going down a negative dialogue path, I want you to recognize it. That's it. It's that simple. Recognize when you're being hard on yourself and keep recognizing it every time it happens. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You guys don't really need to stick around. From there, the next stop is to start replacing the negative self-talk with, positive self-talk. Maybe it's a word or a phrase or a sentence. We call this a mantra. And mantras do take the time to develop, and you will have to stick with them through a lot of repetition. But they will develop, and they will help ground you in a more positive approach to your game. Being positive and kinder to yourself will help you usher in growth. Something you can't do while you're repeating the same negative self-talk over and over again. It's like you're beating a dead horse. Might still be alive. Anyway, here's an example of a mantra from professional pickleball player Lauren Stratman. Lauren likes to use a mantra she learned from her dad. Right here, right now, let's go. To me, that is a positive statement rooted in confidence and hope, not negativity and doom. Oh man, what's that crap? I can't even hit the ball over the net. You suck. The other thing that happens when you show negative emotion on the court is your opponents pick up on it, and chances are they're coming after you because of it. They see your negative spiral and they will show no mercy. Look, at the end of the day, it's just pickleball that's triggering your frustration. And you do have the power to change that. The mind can and will be rewired if you put in the work. My other suggestion is to think of a word or a mantra that will make you laugh. Oh, there goes Tony Soprano riding my ass again. Or whatever you choose. Find something meaningful to you specifically that will help steer you in a more positive direction. As my pickleball pal Kenny Loggins likes to say, when his inner critic veers toward the danger zone, I don't want to remind myself how much I suck. I want to focus on what I can do to correct the mistake. And that's what you need to do. Instead of bashing yourself and feeling less than, learn to be more reflective about your errors, and that reflection will allow your game to grow way faster than if Tony Soprano is holding your head underwater trying to get you to swim with the fishes. When I was first starting out, I took a lot of notes about my mistakes, and I studied them often and focused in on what I needed to work on. Reflection, reflection, reflection. It will get you to the top a lot sooner than if you waste your day away in self-criticism. Thanks for tuning in. On the next bite-sized podcast, we'll examine where that inner critic might come from. Sorry, Bobby Knight just walked in the room. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You guys are the best.
Bite size. Bite size.